are from Medgate today and we have a few questions for you. Ma'am, what are the changes that are needed in medical education to improve diagnostic reasoning and reduce errors?
Changes in education are bringing uniformity. So, whatever one institute is doing, whatever one standard is requesting or demanding, that should be harmonized. So, patient is a patient. So, whether that patient is coming to a private hospital or to a government hospital, to a government laboratory for any test, or to a hospital laboratory like our Sir Gangaram Hospital, so there should be a uniformity in practices, and that can come only when there are uniform checklists and which becomes mandatory. So once they become mandatory, then everyone has to use them, apply them, and then second most important thing is training people on that. So many a times what happens when these standards and these guidelines and checklists which senior people make, or the bodies like ISO and all make, the understanding of those technical words. So we need good trainers, and whatever we have learned, like from a big institute, we should be able to go to the other institute, other cities, and tell them this is the way, these are the correct practices. So the interpretation of those requirements and the correct implementation of those requirements are the major challenges which we are facing. I'm an assessor also, being an assessor also, when we go to different cities, different countries and all, we see that. And training, I believe, after my experience of 25 years in quality, that training is only the key.
And ma'am, what strategies we can use to provide diagnostic uncertainty to patient effectively?
Diagnostic uncertainty comes only when we do, as I said in my previous answer, when we do not follow standard guidelines, when we do not follow the rules and regulations. So like for example, we know that for traffic and all, we have to limit our speed, we have to keep in that particular lane. Similarly for quality also it is like that. Once we know that these are the rules which we need to follow, these are the quality control requirements which we need to implement. So if everyone understands the significance, they should not adopt it only for the sake of accreditation, they should adopt it as a practice. So I expect from our government bodies or our accreditation bodies to provide low cost quality control materials to small labs also, so that they can also implement. They should not face monetary challenges in that.
And ma'am, what are the latest advancements in the biomarker research that are improving diagnostics in India?
Latest research what has come, the highly sensitive biomarkers have come. Like for example, for myocardial infarction, there used to be TROP-I, TROP-T. Now it has come high sensitive. So even a value of less than 0.02 you can detect. So the high sensitivity has helped in many parameters like high HSCRP, like other viral markers and all, and the automation in that. So it has brought the significant change and revolution that even tumor markers, for example, for prognosis and many a times for disease management. So what has happened that after the introduction and after the availability of these biomarkers, we can catch these diseases even at a very initial stage, where just with minor modulation, minor treatment, these can be prevented.
And ma'am, how can diagnostic excellence improve the patient's experience and reduce diagnostic delays?
If the diagnostic excellence exists in any of the organizations, so what happens, as you all know, that 70% of the laboratory clinical management of the patient depends on lab results. And in lab, there is no magic happens. It is basically an integrated expertise which is required, starting from the pre-analytics, analytics and post-analytics. So if these three things are looked into properly and we are able to minimize the delays in each part, so what we will do, we will be able to give the report on time, so that the treatment can be started on time, so that the patient can be operated or treated in some other way on time, and after that, that patient can be discharged also, so that there will be no financial burden on the patient, and patients who are in waiting to come for the treatment to the hospital, they can be benefited. So if these three parts of the diagnostic division, diagnostic excellence with the adherence of good quality measures can be controlled, robust control can be made on that, so we can impact much more on patient care.
Thank you so much for the insights, ma'am.